If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Let's go. So you talked about Elon Musk learning his stuff on time. He got into computers at a very very young age, and that really was helpful. Now, and like let's try to juxtapose that Elon Musk experience, okay, here in Nigeria. Over here in Nigeria, many people don't get on the path of their passion early enough. But over let's see Elon Musk case. He himself got into what he loved early. Now you see the result now. Who is he now? A billionaire. The same thing with Facebook owner, CEO of Facebook. What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. When I researched his stuff, Mark Zuckerberg also got into computers at a very young age, and his dad assisted him a lot on that. So now, who is Mark Zuckerberg right now? A billionaire. So now, what's the other part of it right now? The students are not actually getting into what they love on time. They're actually not getting into what they love early because they are indecisive. Students here don't even know what they want to read. They don't even know what they want to do, like stuff like that. What do you think is the reason, or what do you think is the cause of the indecisiveness in students over here in Nigeria?
See, the cause of the independence is actually they are not focused. Um, they are not focused, and it's actually the issue of parents now. I'm a very, very good philosopher. As a parent, you should study your child and see the talent in him or her and encourage him or her to work and actualize that skill or his talent. So I think most students they are not focused. They are not focused. You see, most of them they are going to school, they are into internet phone. You are not focused on one direction. So your mind is like here and there. And you can't be focused. Now somebody says something, he said, can you be looking up and looking down at the same time? So their mind is not in one place. And actually their parents are failed. The parents are failed in the aspect of actually telling them their gifts and their talent in them. And then the same as also failed because they have not taken time to
To confirm.
discover themselves very well. I mean, I want to mention the case of Elon Musk. At the age of 20, Elon Musk actually designed the computer game, the video game, and sold it for $1,000. That was in the 90s. You don't know how much $1,000 was in the 90s? Because of what? Self-discovery at a very early age. That's the issue.
Wow, 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 wow. I love that. I love that. I hope you got that. Self discovery at a very early age. He said Elon Musk created computer game, right? And he sold it for $1,000 in the 90s. And that is a lot of money back then. So why? Because of self discovery. That's the issue we have over here in Nigeria. Like no self discovery. We have zero self discovery over here in Nigeria. Careers are not determined on time over here in Nigeria. A child gets to the age of 18 before he knows what he wants to go and study. But over there, see Elon Musk case. He discovered his stuff before 12 years old. He already knew he was going into the computer world. Okay, but over here in Nigeria, it takes 18 years, sometimes 20 years old. You are 20 years old before you know what you want to do. And sometimes if you are not even that sure of it, you're just going into it because probably time, pressure. That's so this is a very very big issue. It's a very very big issue. And you mentioned parents, that parents have failed, and also students too have failed because you said parents have failed because they um failed to like discover, like watch the child and observe the child when the child was growing, so they put the child on the right path early enough. That's what you said is the cause. So let's deal with this thing very very well. You said that is the cause, okay? So obviously over here in Nigeria we now know that probably not discovering yourself early could be the cause of failure students encounter, students face, or in their general life. So now what do you think can be done? What do you think parents should do to kind of, should I say, alter this, should I say, to change everything right now? What do you think parents should do? Instead of observing them, okay, at a young age is
Now,
good, but
the
is there
issue,
any added information you
now,
have?
the issue of the issue of parenting is a very big problem. That most of these parents, they don't actually know what is self discovery. So how can they discover the talent in their child? Most of them are done. Now, giving birth to a child is not necessarily you just having that kind of most at that particular time. Do you have the knowledge to take care of the child? Most of them they just have almost they don't have the knowledge. And for example, now in the society the parents are so proud, very, very proud. Now imagine the 17-year-old boy like me educating a I want to educate a man for 37 years about self discovery child. Eventually it will look me like a fool because how would you just think mostly that age is maturity, which is not that. Age is not maturity. Age is maturity. The oldest man will be the richest man.
That's it. That's it. That's really cool. So you said age is not maturity, and if age were maturity, then the oldest man will be the richest man. So that's really, really a fantastic one. Okay. So if you're watching right now, that is just light. Once you just hear it, the darkness goes away. That's how to change the world. Just give powerful information itself alone. The powerful information itself will change the world. Why? Because it causes the darkness to flee. And that's how it is. So now, let's discuss another part of the show, another part of this we're still on the topic of parents, like probably being the fault or being the cause of this stuff. So now let's talk about curiosity in Nigeria. You said it's hard to change this stuff. Why? Because parents, majority of those who are older usually don't want to learn from probably the younger minds, and probably just because they think they are older, they think they've experienced everything the child has experienced, they think anything the child has experienced is just a meager thing, that they have experienced everything. So that's an issue that you are pointing at now. So if you're watching right now, you're a parent, it's time to do something. It's time to start learning. Okay, and you're a parent doesn't put a stop to reading books. That you're a parent doesn't. How many times have you gone to the bookshop and read two, three books? Two, three self-development books. It like self-development books is so sweet to study them. So sweet. It slows down aging process. According to neuroscience, a person who reads all the time, aging process goes down. Genes that slows down aging process are upregulated when you read all the time, according to neuroscience. So it is rewarding to read books. How many times do you as a parent go to a bookshop and just pick two, three books for your children and for yourself? How many times have your children seen you studying, reading self-development books? We're not talking about physics books here. So even if you don't go to school as a parent, you can get all these books. They are free. You don't need certificate to read all these books we're talking about. Okay, you don't need certificate. That's what we're talking about here. So let's deal with the issue, Divine. Let's deal with the issue of curiosity in children. You said Elon Musk created his first video game at a very young age, right? Same thing with Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg started very early and he created an app that his family used. And his father was really responsible for him getting that knowledge. His father discovered he loves computer, then his father paid someone to train him on computer programming. That's from his when I researched about him. He said his father paid someone to teach him this and that. So he designed app very early, and before he got into is it not Harvard universities and that. Then before he discovered Facebook. So let's talk about it. Also boils down to the curiosity of the child. If the father didn't see curiosity in Elon Musk in the direction of computers, he wouldn't have given him the support that Elon Musk lesson needed. Okay, he wouldn't have created the environment that was needed for Elon Musk to actually do those things that he did. So let's talk about the curiosity now. So curiosity in children is actually important too. When a child is growing up, the child is very curious. He wants to learn, know everything. The child does not know that salt is sodium chloride. but you know salt is sodium chloride. So when the child sees the salt, he wants to touch it. He does not know the salt is sodium chloride. But you as a parent, or you may know that the salt is sodium chloride. So they want to learn. Children have not been exposed to many things. They want to learn, they want to know more. So but that curiosity happens to drop when a child starts to grow and approach the age of 17, 16. Over here in Nigeria, we're talking about a specific case here, a special case. Over here in Nigeria, like it is, the curiosity starts to go down, starts to drop. So now let's talk about the curiosity in children right now. What is responsible for this drop, like in the curiosity in children over here in Nigeria and over in other countries?
I think I love this question. Now, you said what is responsible for the job? Now, the responsible for the job is actually the parents are not steering on the curiosity. I hear me.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
most of the parents are they are blind. They can't see the curiosity. That's why I said I always say, "Man, you having the ability to give them to the child. It's not only you just having your own, maybe having spent in you. You still have to have the brain in you to take care of the child. And most of these students, most of the students, they don't actually see the curiosity in them. I mean, they don't actually try to stir up the curiosity and develop the curiosity now. If they can stir up the curiosity and develop the curiosity, I tell the curiosity to die. And in the kind of society we live in, if you live in a very, 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 very rough society, even when you see everybody, almost everybody in society today, what you see are making the true internet flow. You can't see anybody that's doing maybe doing stuff, there's this stuff online that's making money. And then that actually affects your curiosity because then you think that only way I can make it is through internet fraud. That's what is actually killing them. The society we live in is actually killing the curiosity of the children today because the society is not motivating them. Now you can't see anybody in Nigeria that is producing cars. So if I have the seed to produce car, what motivates me? Who will I mentor? Who is this person that I will mentor? I want to mentor this person. So it's actually the society and the parents are not discovering the curiosity in them. That's what I think.
Okay, that's a brilliant one. You said the parents are not discovering the curiosity in the children, and you also mentioned the society is like it's like a killer, or like the killer of this curiosity in children. What does the society value, and what does the society suggest to the children when they are growing up? What does the society suggest to them? What do the children see that is common in the society? That is really that has a huge impact in the lives of the children. So what do they see that is common in the society will always shape their lives if they are not careful. So that is just a good one. And you said, according to what you said, the summary for what you said just now, that parents can actually start to build curiosity in their children if they are interested, if they start to become interested in this topic right now, this curiosity stuff. If they start to become interested in it, they can start to actually build that curiosity in their children too. And so that is it right now. So now, to the aspect of you said to the aspect of setting up legitimate businesses. Okay, like you said, we said like the major problem of the world, major problem facing the world is we have even in the world generally, we have few job creators and more job seekers. So now what is the cause of that? Now, to me, what's the cause of that? Let's discuss that. I have a question. I will ship it in as you talk. So what's the cause of that? What's the cause of that? Why is it everywhere? Do you think it's everywhere?
I don't think it's everywhere because society differs. Now, the way they might be thinking in the US might be different from the way they might be thinking in Nigeria. So, you said something that what is actually the cause of girls' job security. Like I will always say, it's like a norms. They are mind have been programmed to thinking that job seeking is the key to making wealth. Now, they don't actually think ask yourself, check before universities. There's nobody on that salary that's under that form universities. So it's actually a law that has been passed from generation to generation. They don't actually think that
Okay, that's a brilliant one. So you said, now from what you have said right now, if you're watching right now, most of the things you know, most of the things you just have like automatic reaction to, most of the things you just want to just do without questioning yourself. Most of those things like are not inherent in you. Most of the things like you learned most of those things, and most of those things, even the people who taught you, like they themselves learned it from someone else. Like those people who taught those people, they learned it from someone else. So we don't even know who taught all the stuff. So check yourself really well and understand like what's running your life. Are you in the seat of your life? Are you like in control of your life, or a program is running your life? For the first 7 years of life, let me introduce this stuff right now. Hypnosis is psychology. For the first 7 years of life, every child was programmed through hypnosis. For the first 7 years of life, the brain is divided into two parts: the conscious part of the brain and the subconscious part of the brain. The conscious part helps you to learn through normal thinking, imagination, but the subconscious helps you to learn through repetitions. You can only teach the subconscious through repetitions. Okay, and whatsoever is in the subconscious mind is done automatically, is done on autopilot. But whatsoever is in your conscious mind is not done on autopilot. So you see these two parts of human beings. So when a child is born, from the last trimester, which is 3 months of birth, to the 7th year of a child's life, that child was programmed through three means: visual programming, verbal programming, and through specific incidences. Visual programming means what did the child see during the first 7 years of life. Verbal programming means what did the child hear during the first 7 years of life. Specific incidences means what did the child experience during the first 7 years of life. These things can shape the child's life, because for the first 7 years of life, the conscious mind was not active. Okay, the subconscious mind is always first developed before the conscious mind comes in later after the 7th year of life. So that is what it is. So that is why when you were small, they had to teach you ABC. You had to repeat it before you could learn it. You can't go to a child and tell the child ABC. The child knows it, and the child is just 2 years old or 3 years old, 4 years old. It can't happen that way. You have to repeat it. You have to train their subconscious, because at that age, their subconscious world, their subconscious is the only active way to learn at that age. So whatsoever they saw, whatsoever they heard, whatsoever they experienced, all came into that subconscious mind. So anything that in that subconscious mind is done automatically. You don't think about it. For instance, how did the child learn to walk? The child had to repeat the process. You stand up and fall. You stand up and fall. That is the stuff. So, and now you understand that as soon as the child learns how to walk, that child does not think about walking before he can actually walks. Before he can actually walk. For instance, do you think about your steps when you are moving? You don't. Why? Because it is in your subconscious mind. So um coming. Okay, so why? Because it is. So this is really powerful. It's a known thing in psychology. So I just want to share it to everyone. So for the first 7 years of life, when you were born, you had no belief system. You belief you have today, you have that belief because you have memorized it over and over again. Okay? A belief is a thought that you repeat over and over again. When you repeat a particular thought over and over again, a belief is formed. So if you want to form a belief about the world is evil, all you just have to do is think about the world as evil over and over again. It's going to form a belief for you. You're going to act without you even thinking about it, just like you can walk. So that is it. So when a child is born, the child's brain is just like a memory card, an empty memory card, having no information, nothing. So whatever you know today in life did not come with you when you were born. You learned almost everything. So when the child is born, the child has nothing in the brain. So how did the child now have everything about the world? How did the child now get to know about things? The brain designed a mechanism for that. You know how he did it? For the first years of life, the brain just absorbed anything it heard, anything it saw, and anything it experienced so that it can form a belief system from those things. So the belief system you have today, the belief you have today about the world, about life, check deep really well. Check deep really well. They are from the programs. And if you're not careful about that, if you're not consciously thinking about it, You might just run a particular way of life for the rest of your life without even knowing how and why you are doing the thing. Some people smoke, you don't know how they smoke and why they smoke. If you check very well, for the first 7 years of life, probably their dad smokes. Check it very well, you will see it there. So that is a big thing right now. And so, what do you have about that? What's your take on it? If you had, okay, what would you advise? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, on the issue of parenting, like, what's your advice to them? Like you said, it's not just enough to give birth to a child. And today society now, we are not solving that problem because we have girls right now. We have girls right now, 20 years, 19 years, they are pregnant. How are they going to take care of that child with no knowledge of parenting? I'm coming. So what's your last take on that? Like, what do you have to give to people, like, on the issue of parents? Like, what can you say to them? To those young girls.
I can't hear you. I
Okay.
can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, so what would you advise? Would you advise about parenting? Can you still hear me? I dey come, you know, guess it. How is off? It's not off. Why?